Welcome to the WINFL show.
Welcome to the Outer Hebrides. This is the WINFL show. I'm your host, Ian McKinnon. I'm joined this week by Mr. Patrick Jackson. Patrick, how are you?
Very well, thank you. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. Now, couple of things to point out. You may notice that my monitor here isn't lit up anymore. It usually have the WINFL logo. That's because I got a brand new graphics card for my computer. I thought I'm gonna upgrade. So I had an old Radeon Sapphire one, but I want to be doing more videos through the season this year, and it makes life a lot easier for rendering. So I got a brand new MSI GeForce 3060. Excellent. However, the problem is that apart from one output, they're all display ports. It's got one HDMI, and all of my monitors are HDMI. So I have one functioning monitor, one monitor going through an adapter from DisplayPort to HDMI. So I've had to send off for some new adapters. So this is why this monitor is not displaying the WINFL logo. However, what I've done is, for those watching on YouTube, you already know this, I've placed the WINFL logo right down here in the middle between myself and Mr. Patrick Jackson, just in case you weren't sure what you were watching. Now you know, we're watching the WINFL show. And Patrick, we made it.
We did.
We actually made it. It's football week, kickoff week. What do you think of that?
I mean, it's exciting, isn't it? There was some long, barren moments. There were some horrible moments where it felt like we were going to keep Trent Baalke on as GM. And this last couple of weeks where things normally quieten down have been some of the most dramatic off-season weeks I can remember. We've had 1 week off, and the news has been flying in left, right, and centre.
Mm-hmm. Now, there's been plenty of news. Of course, the big news. We'll start with that, Patrick, because if people cast their minds back to when we did our NFC East deep dive, preview, and of course the Micah Parsons thing had not been sorted out, and I sat in this chair, in this spot, and said, there is no way the Dallas Cowboys trade Micah Parsons. No team will give up the capital for him, because I figured you'd need to be offering at least 3 first-rounders, 2 or 3 players, plus another couple of third-rounders and a couple of fourth-rounders thrown in. Well, was I wrong? Patrick, do you have the details of the Micah Parsons trade?
Yes, Micah Parsons has headed to Green Bay for 2 first-round picks and Kenny Clark. And to be honest, I'm with you. I was expecting the most likely outcome of this to be Jerry Jones was stubborn, refused to sort out contract negotiations. Mm-hmm. Micah sat out and moved on next year, or finally got the contract he wanted. Yeah. So this trade came kind of out of left field, and Green Bay feel like they've got themselves a bit of a bargain. It was a relative down year for Kenny Clark, and he's towards the end of his career as an IDL, so he's not a massive premier piece as he would have been a few years ago. 2 first-round picks, on the face of it, sounds decent, but they could be 2 first-round picks, 25 plus, and how many Micah Parsons do you get in the first round? You're throwing darts at a very small board if you're Jerry Jones, and he kind of said in his justification of it that, we need to stop the run more, and we could get 2 more Pro Bowl caliber players along with Kenny Clark with the picks. So it's like, but you've had a almost certain Hall of Famer off the back of his first few years in the league. The chances of picking someone as good as him with either of those picks is low. So, yeah, I'd rather be on the Green Bay side of this trade by a comfortable bit, because they have a fairly clear vision building towards a Super Bowl run, whereas the Cowboys have paid a couple of players very handsomely and then offloaded a guy who would have very much helped them towards a Super Bowl run. They're kind of betwixt and between, and when you hedge your bets like that, you end up middle of your division on the fringes of the playoffs at best, and never with good draft picks. So it's a horrible position to be in. I feel for the Cowboys fans, or I would do if they weren't mostly so obnoxious.
The the thing is, you're right. Jerry Jones said we need to be better stopping the run, so they brought in Kenny Clark. Now I could understand if that's all you did was bring in Kenny Clark. You just signed him because you thought he was going to help you with the run. You've traded away what is by far and away your best player, regardless of position. It's not even close. Micah Parsons is... it's actually quite difficult now. Top 5 defender, regardless of position. I think would be fairly safe to say. And I know I'll get pushback on that because people say, well, you've got Hutchinson and you've got Myles Garrett and you've got Max Crosby and you've got TJ Watt and then, at other positions, you've got guys like Pat Surtain in Denver and you've got, yes, there's a lot of great players out there, but Micah's in that conversation, and he's a game changer. He's a game wrecker. The Cowboys without Micah last year compared to with Micah were a different team.
Yeah.
Completely different team. And signing away your best player for an absolute song, 2 first-round picks, and as you rightly say, those picks could be 28 and 29. What are you thinking, Dallas? What do you think?
Yeah, and you're giving him away to a conference rival who could stop you making Super Bowls with him. It makes very little sense.
The team that absolutely horsed them in the playoffs.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it would be like an equivalence would be. I can't even think of an equivalence. I just can't think of one. It would be like the Baltimore Ravens giving Lamar Jackson to. You can't give him to the Chiefs, but you know what I mean. Just giving him to to the Pittsburgh Steelers. It would be if the Ravens traded him to the Pittsburgh Steelers, or if the Kansas City Chiefs went, you know what, we're going to give Mahomes to the Raiders for 2 first-round. What are you doing? What are you doing? It's insane. It makes no sense. I genuinely thought, and I was talking to someone at my work about this. I genuinely thought that. The Cowboys and Parsons already had a deal in place, but they weren't going to announce it until the last minute because Jerry Jones makes money in publicity. And I thought that's what was going to happen. I was like, he's already got this deal made. He's going to make Micah Parsons the highest paid defender in the league, but he wants to milk the media, milk the PR, because that's all Jerry Jones cares about. PR. And here we are talking about the Dallas Cowboys.
And it's ironic that that's the only thing he cares about, because basically everything he's said this offseason has made things worse. Mm-hmm. Getting Parsons' name wrong, saying he was out injured for more games than he was, and it's just like everything you've done has made you look incompetent and a terrible judge at how to take a football team forwards.
Yeah.
And why would anyone have faith in you on that? And then he doubled down with the DaRon Bland contract extension just after the trade was announced, giving him 4 years, $92 million. So he's now getting paid just below Pat Surtain, just above AJ Terrell money as a cornerback. And you're just like, so you've done that. You've overpaid this guy. It proves that you're happy to throw money about and you really want to stick it to Micah Parsons that you weren't willing to give him what he was worth.
Yes.
It's baffling old man stubbornness.
And I know that DaRon Bland's a cornerback, but he's, or a defensive back, I should say. But he's got one of the worst run grades in the NFL. I don't get it. I don't get it. Now, I'm hoping to get Tim Dudman on at some point. I think maybe tonight. I'll ask him, because I need to get his opinion on this as a Dallas Cowboys fan. Because
are you going to watch the season?
I had the Dallas Cowboys going 9-8 in my initial predictions, because I thought, yes, they've got talent, yes, they've got Micah, but they don't have a lot else. You know, they've got Dak and CD, that's good. I hope for his own sake that Javonte Williams becomes better, you know, post-injury than he was at Denver. I thought if he looks good. And then on defense, you've got Micah Parsons and some guys. And I had them going 9-8, and I'm revising that now, Patrick, because I honestly believe now the Dallas Cowboys will 6 wins. 5. Give him 5. Micah's worth 4 on his own. 5-12 for the Cowboys this year. I'm changing my predictions. Apologies for that. I've got to do it.
That's very bold. Very bold.
I've got to do it. I've got to. They've given away their best player for a song. And Kenny, I feel bad for Kenny Clark because he's going to be remembered as the guy in the Micah Parsons trade.
Yeah.
And that's
3 days before the season starts. You've got to go and learn an entire new defense. Good luck.
Oh, terrible.
It's fine though. They've only got the Eagles in week 1. It's easy start.
Oh, yeah. Now, we're going to be going through all of the games, but there has been other news, Patrick. So why don't you enlighten us to what else is going on in and around the NFL this week?
So, other bits of news. We talked about the Deron Bland contract extension. Since we last talked, we also had contract extensions for Trey Hendrickson at long last. $30 million for a single-year deal, so we'll have to go through all of this again next summer. Terry McLaurin has a nice 4-year extension, although 2 of those are void years, so who knows what happens at the end of that. Kyle Hamilton, 4 years, $100 million extension, making him the league's highest paid safety. Well earned there. Tyler Moton signed a 2-year, $44 million deal with the Panthers to help out that offensive line. Amari Cooper goes back home to the Raiders, and they'll be hoping he has more success there than he had anywhere he was last season. And then a few trades around the league. Adam Thielen heads back to Minnesota. The Panthers, they made that trade shortly before Jalen Coker gets injured, so their receiving room looks a little bit threadbare coming into week 1, which is great for my Jags, who traded for former Bronco Tim Patrick from the Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
Isaac Teslar shone in preseason, so they were happy to make the Tim Patrick trade, and they got Teslar from trading draft picks with the Jags, so there's some circular backpacking backpatting going on there. Can't even speak.
Yes, indeed.
Other noticeable trades: Brian Robinson to San Francisco, Christian McCaffrey injury insurance. That's off Bill Krosky Merritt showing out in preseason for the Commanders. So it looks like they'll have a rookie running back leading their field. Harrison Phillips, veteran defensive lineman, goes to the Jets for a 6th round picks, along with the 7th round pick. Could be a contributor there, even at his end of his career. And Sky Moore, under 7th to the 49ers for a 6th. Huge fall from grace from a former 2nd round pick there, and a sign of just how injury riddled the 49ers receiver room is coming into the season. They are desperately reaching for people at this point.
They absolutely are. Now, I'm going to talk about a couple of folk. Trey Hendrickson got done. And, sorry, what was the figures again?
$30 million just for the year.
1 year. So, yeah, we do have that to look forward to again.
It's but it's a sticking plaster that will help them this year.
Well, they needed it. My goodness, the Bengals needed it. Now, I also want to get your view on Tim Patrick. I love Tim Patrick. I was gutted when he went to Detroit because he was sensational for the Broncos, but he had been injured, and that was an issue. But when he was playing, he was great. When he was with Detroit, he's one of the safest pair of hands in the league. This guy is brilliant. I love Tim Patrick. What do you make of the Jags signing this guy?
I'm very pleased. I think he came back from injury looking decent in Detroit, and I'm confident that they have savvy enough offensive strategists in the building at the Jaguars to know how to use him well.
Yeah.
He's kind of a borderline hybrid receiving tight end almost. He's 6'5", so he's a really big target, and he's something that receiver room didn't really have. So, yeah, I think he'll really benefit that group's roundedness, and they needed it. You know, they'd only kept 5 wide receivers on the 53-man roster, one of whom was Austin Trammell, who's like a borderline practice squad guy. I think that's where he's ended up. So it looked thin, particularly when you consider Travis Hunter's going to be playing on both sides of the ball, so has higher injury risk than the majority of wide receivers in the league. that concerned me. So to even bring in Patrick in to bolster that room gave me up. I was expecting it to be someone else and not Trammell from a different positional group that got booted off the 53 to make space, if I'm honest. But they've stuck firm with that 5 wide receivers on the 53 approach, which is a minor concern. But, it's a better 5, I think, at least now.
That is that. Regarding my own team, the 53-man roster, the only surprise I had with the Broncos was because the Broncos had already traded away Javonte Williams to the Cowboys, and we drafted RJ Harvey, and I was like, in preseason, this looks good. RJ Harvey looks good. We know what Jaleel McLaughlin's going to give you at the backfield. They signed J.K. Dobbins, Audric Estime from Notre Dame, and then they cut Audric Estime. And I was like, oh, what are you doing? And I swear to God, I doubt if that phone call had even ended, Philadelphia were like, we're taking you. So Audric Estime, the bowling ball out of Notre Dame, ends up on the Philadelphia Eagles. Yay.
Perfect fit.
Just what they needed was another powerful running back.
Yeah.
Because as we know, teams, and the Eagles know this, this is a very savvy move by them. Teams that go late into the playoffs might have to rely on some backups. So having those guys that you can just plug in for a few plays makes a massive difference, and can often be the difference between winning and losing games. I'm gutted Estime's gone to Philadelphia. I loved him on the Broncos last year. He didn't get a lot of playing time, but when he did play, he looked fantastic. So really, I'm absolutely distraught about that. Audric Estime goes off, but we'll see. The 53-man cuts are brutal to a lot of players, and I have to trust the process. And I keep saying this, I need to trust that Sean Payton knows what he's doing, because he probably does better than I do. Just saying. Just saying. Was there any other news, Patrick, or shall we move on?
Let's move on.
Alrighty then. We are going to move on because we've got some predictions. I already managed to get Christian's predictions in. So, Patrick Jackson, why don't we start with you? NFC champions. Who are your NFC champions for 2025? These are definitive predictions now, so no going back in it.
Okay. My NFC champions are Philadelphia Eagles.
There we go. Okay. Not really surprising. AFC champions.
I have gone with the Kansas City Chiefs. It's really boring this year.
So we're getting a repeat performance in the Super Bowl. Are we getting a repeat Super Bowl winner out of these two? Will the Philadelphia Eagles go back-to-back victories against the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl?
That is indeed what I've predicted, yes.
Oh, my word. Oh, my word. There we go. There we are. You've heard it here first. That's what's going to happen. Eagles are going to beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Except I think you're wrong. But that's all right. That's okay.
I mean, I kind of hope I am, because that's the most tedious possible option, isn't it?
MVP of the league. Who do you have?
Well, I had to go with my Rams being the first overall seed in the NFC narrative, so I went for Matthew Stafford.
MVP for Matthew Stafford. Lovely. That's wonderful. Offensive Player of the Year.
On the same narrative, I went Puka Nacua.
Oh, MVP and OPY in the same team. I like it. I like it a lot. Defensive Player of the Year. That's a tough one.
Yeah, there's a lot of options here, and I looked at the way things were trending last season, and I went for Zach Allen.
Lovely. Zach Allen for Defensive Player of the Year. We come to the rookies. Offensive Rookie of the Year. Who have you gone for?
I was swayed by the chat you had with Will Keys, and I went for Ashton Genty, because from what we saw from him and from the billing he got, just the impact he could have this season is huge.
It could be. It could be massive. Defensive Rookie of the Year.
I guess similar lines to my Defensive Player of the Year. I went for J.D. Barron.
My word. Wow. I love it. This is amazing. Comeback Player of the Year. It's been between two guys for me, and I think for most people. Who's going to be Comeback Player of the Year?
I went Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Coach of the year.
Well, I've got the Pats making the playoffs, so it's hard to look past Mike Vrabel coming in and turning that ship around if that comes to pass.
And I don't know if you went for the new lineman of the year. I don't know if you picked anyone for that. I was talking to Christian that he did pick one. So if you had to throw one out there, who would your lineman of the year be?
I'll be real with you, I'd forgotten that was a thing, but let's go for Creed Humphrey.
That's amazing. Humphrey. Christian had gone for Penny Sewell. I had it. I've got a toss between three. Do you know what? I'll give you mine now because I was going to save them. But there's no point in saving them. You're here. I'm here. We're on a podcast. Let's do this. My predictions are ridiculous because I like to shake things up. My NFC champions making their first ever Super Bowl is the Detroit Lions.
Love it. Already better than mine.
And I know they've lost coordinators and stuff like that, but so much talent on this team. So much. So, Detroit Lions are my NFC champions. Now, for my AFC champions, I was struggling a lot with this one. But I've gone a little bit rogue with my AFC champions. And Jake's going to love this. Houston Texans are doing it. Oh. Houston Texans are going to be the AFC champions. Can you believe that?
I mean, I didn't even have them making the postseason, so we are strongly separate on this. Interesting to see where it goes.
Yeah, so the only reason I've got that is because I was like, oh, what if they fluke a win here? And I literally did that all the way up to the Super Bowl. That they fluke overtime wins.
Can you fluke away to the Super Bowl?
Of course you can. It's been done before. Patriots did it like 6 times. Right, okay. However, that Super Bowl will be the Detroit Lions are going to win the Super Bowl. They're going to get there for the very first time, and they're going to win the Super Bowl. Now, it comes down to MVP of the league. It's going to have to be Jared Goff, because if the Lions get all the way to the Super Bowl, I've got them going 15-2. Jared Goff gets an MVP. What? He certainly does. Offensive Player of the Year was quite difficult. I wasn't sure if Saquon might go back-to-back Offensive Player of the Year. And then I thought, no, I'm giving it to receiver. And despite the fact that I've got absolutely no idea what the quarterback's going to look like, Justin Jefferson is getting Offensive Player of the Year for me. Because with this guy, it doesn't usually matter who the quarterback is anyway. So Justin Jefferson's getting my Offensive Player of the Year. Believe it or not, our Defensive Player of the Year is the same person. Hey. I couldn't believe when you said Zach Allen. I thought I was going to go.
All the people were to agree on, yeah.
I know, couldn't believe it. Zach Allen led all defensive linemen with tackles for loss last year, led all defensive linemen in quarterback hits last year. He is on a trajectory, and I think he could have an incredible year, particularly with an improved secondary and linebacking core. He might have even more time to get into the backfield. I've gone for Zach Allen. I was torn between him and the other AFC West guy, Max Crosby, but I've gone for Zach Allen. Offensive Rookie of the Year. It is a tough one. And I have to say Ashton Jeanty as well. He looks too good. So I'm going Ashton Jeanty. Defensive Rookie of the Year. You might like this one. I've gone Travis Hunter.
Hey.
I was going to go Abdul Carter, and I thought, no, I like Travis Hunter on this one. So Travis Hunter gets my Defensive Rookie of the Year. Comeback Player of the Year. It was between Hutchinson and CMC. I'm giving it to Hutchinson. I'm going to make a bold prediction right now that Aiden Hutchinson breaks the NFL sack record in a single season. 22.5. It's held by Strahan and TJ Watt, I believe, are the two guys who hold that. And I reckon Eden Hurt some breaks it this year. Very bold early prediction. There we go.
And if that happens, your defensive player of the year shout is in a lot of jeopardy.
Yes. Coach of the year. Now, I did think Vrabel, because I thought the Patriots are going to be much improved. But I actually think going 15-2 after losing your coordinators, it's your man in Detroit. It's the big fella himself, Dan Campbell. Coach of the year.
Yeah, and keeping that ship together that well, with all the coaching staff he lost around him, would absolutely merit that. So that's a narrative that works, absolutely.
Lineman of the year, I was torn between three. I was torn between Penny Sewell, Tristan Wirfs, and Joe Alt. But Penny Sewell's going to get it for me. The Lions are kind of sweeping this. Sewell gets it for me. I was tempted to go Joe Alt, actually, because the more I've seen of this kid, the better he's looked, and he might have an incredible season this year. But I'm giving it to Penny Sewell because I think he'll get more attention because the Lions will be winning a lot of games, and he'll just get more limelight. So I've gone Penny Sewell. I was also tempted on Defensive Player of the Year to go back-to-back Surtain, which I would have liked, but teammate getting it. That'll be all right.
Yeah.
Job's
going to be tougher this year with this Raheem Slater injury, isn't it?
Oh, yes. That's going to be...
When you lose that sort of partnership on your offensive line, they'll look at the sacks Herbert takes, even when they're not your fault, and that'll bint your... for that award, you know what I mean?
This whole line, when you had Slater and Alt, you were like, wow, what a line they've got. You lose one of those, you're like, oh, there's a hole there now. And it's a big hole, having Slater gone. So that might change the scenery a lot for Justin Herbert back there. We'll just wait and see how he gets on. But that is my predictions. Now, I understand you have some predictions from Jake. Do you have them with you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I don't have defensive lineman of the year, but I've got
that's okay.
all the different player categories.
Yeah.
He would give me his like league division winners and Super Bowl win.
No, we'll go for the player categories, yeah.
Yeah. His MVP went to Lamar Jackson. His offensive player of the year went to Nico Collins, so playing into your Sixers make the Super Bowl angle there. Defensive player of the year went to Chris Jones. Offensive rookie of the year went to Emeka Egbuka, so I can only assume in this scenario that one of Mike Evans or Chris Godwin got injured.
Yeah.
Defensive rookie of the year went to Michael Williams, which I must confess is someone I didn't consider, but I quite like the shout. We agreed on coach of the year. He went Mike Vrabel, and he went the other side of that coin flip with Christian McCaffrey for comeback player of the year.
I think if it's anyone other than, well, barring, one of them gets injured again and they don't play.
Yeah.
If it's anyone other than Hutchinson or McCaffrey, if they both stay healthy and have a good season, I'll be shocked. I'll be absolutely shocked. Although, didn't Joe Flacco win it over DeMar Hamlin? And was it Joe Flacco who won it?
Does it count as a comeback for JJ McCarthy in that he didn't play, but he was injured for a whole year? It's sort of a comeback.
Hey, I didn't even think of that.
No, I didn't till just now. But if he leads the Vikings to 14-3 in the playoffs, he's got to be in the shout.
Oh, do you know that completely skipped by me? Never even considered it. If they win like 14 games, which I have already said I don't think they will, and I got torn to shreds for that.
I had them going 8-9, so I don't know why I said that. But
I had them going like I had them going like 4-13, so and I got absolutely just torn apart by Ben Isaacs for that one. I don't know. I never even thought of that. I suppose he would be. He was injured, didn't play. Although they might have said he wasn't going to play anyway. Because, it's not like he was the de facto starter and then got injured, then Sam Darnold stepped in.
They won't be saying that when Sam Darnold's 2-15 in Seattle.
We'll need to wait and see what's going to happen with that one. We certainly do. We should probably move on though, Patrick, because we've got an entire week of football. an entire week of football. So, it kicks off on Thursday. It's the Dallas Cowboys. The Micah Parsons-less Dallas Cowboys. At the Philadelphia Eagles, although it's, where are they playing it? I can't remember where they're playing it. Somewhere weird.
Is this the one that's in Brazil?
I think it is. I think it's Sao Paulo, isn't it?
Like the Green Bay game last year.
Yes. Dallas Cowboys. Philadelphia Eagles. I see Philadelphia absolutely run roughshod over the Cowboys in this one. Do apologise to our Cowboys fans. Tim, Lauren, I know you're listening. But I think this is going to be a disaster for your team this entire year. And I've got the Philadelphia Eagles winning this one 42-13. Patrick?
That is huge. I erred on the side of caution a little bit because the Eagles started slowly last season, and you often see offenses taking longer to get started in the season than defenses do. It's easy to be disruptive than it is to be creative. But I still think the Eagles win this, and fairly comfortably. I went for the first palindromigami of the season. Dallas 13, Philadelphia Eagles 31.
Palindromigami. I like it.
My favourite things.
I like it. Very good. We then move to the Friday night game. It's the Kansas City Chiefs at the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, is this the one that's in Brazil? I can't remember which one's in Brazil. One of these games.
It might be the second one, actually.
One of these games is in Brazil. Oh, yeah, it would make sense if Philadelphia hoisting the flag and all that stuff at home.
Yeah.
I'm talking nonsense. I really should have done my research better instead of just writing a piece of paper here. Kansas City Chiefs and the Los Angeles Chargers. Do you know what? Take the Chargers to win. Oh my word. This will be one of the only losses Kansas City suffers during the regular season. The Chargers are going to win in overtime. By a field goal, 30-27 to the Los Angeles Chargers. And it's going to be one loss for the Chiefs, and then they're going to go on a massive run of wins. That's happened before. We've seen it before, week one. What have you got for us?
I thought this was going to be our first disagreement of the season because I have the Chargers winning in regulation time 17-16.
Oh, low scoring affair. I like it. We then move on to the Sunday slate of games, the afternoon games. And the first one up is Tampa Bay in Atlanta taking on the Falcons. I have no idea what the Falcons are going to look like, but I've got a pretty good idea what the Bucs are going to look like. Despite the fact they got swept last year, the Bucs are winning this one 26-20.
I went Tampa Bay 27-20. And, when you're the Falcons and you have an unproven quarterback and you don't give him any preseason reps, what are you doing? Even Mahomes had preseason reps. So, yeah, you're lucky to be getting 20.
Yeah. We then have the Cincinnati Bengals at the Cleveland Browns. Quite a few interdivisional ones, divisional games, I should say, in week one. I like that. Cincinnati Bengals at the Cleveland Browns. Cincinnati are winning. They're winning, and they're winning big. But the Browns will score because Cincinnati's defense, apart from Hendrickson, is terrible. So I've got the Bengals winning this one by a score of 32-22.
Similar margin of victory. I have gone Cincinnati 20, Cleveland 12, brackets, 4 field goals. Close.
I don't have Cincinnati get a 32. It's just one of those things. Maybe they'll have 4 field goals. Entirely possible.
Hendrickson can celebrate his new contract with a safety.
Yes. Then the Miami Dolphins at the Indianapolis Colts. I'm really looking forward to this one. Not the Colts, the Dolphins. Dolphins are going to win, and they're going to win huge. They're going to absolutely explode out of the gates early on. I've got the Dolphins winning very, very comfortably by a score of 34-13. I just don't trust the Colts.
Wasn't sure what to make of this one because, you're right. I don't trust the Colts, particularly on offense. Their defense is normally pretty good and should be better coming into this year with the defensive coordinator change. Miami feel like they might be imploding, but I still think they'll have enough to get past the Colts 20-17.
Yeah, I think offensively they should be okay, but we need to wait and see. Hopefully, Tua's fully healthy. We then have the Carolina Panthers at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, one of these teams is going to explode in week 1. And when I say explode, I mean in a good way. Not implode. They're going to explode. And it is the home team. It's the Jacksonville Jaguars who are going to crush the Carolina Panthers. Bryce Young's just not going to have a good start. He'll get better as the weeks go on, but in week 1, he's got no chance. Jacksonville Jaguars. Can he say it? Is he going to say it? Yes, he is. 40, Carolina 23.
I mean, incredible. I'd love this. It's the first time we're disagreeing because I have hedged my bets and gone for Carolina 24, Jacksonville 23.
Ah, okay. Okay. All right. Okay, I see what you're doing. Interesting. You're being sensible. That's what you're being. Not like me.
I'm trying to... It'll hurt me either way, one way, but at least if they lose, I'm right in the predictions. Little silver lining.
Okay, wow, all right. We then have the Arizona Cardinals at the New Orleans Saints, taking on Jake Saints. I don't trust the Saints.
No.
Kyler Murray in September, do I trust him?
More than you trust
maybe
Matt Russell,
more
I imagine.
than I trust the Saints. Jake, I'm sorry, your team's going to lose in week 1, but it's going to be close. It's going to be close because I certainly don't trust Arizona's defense. I've got Arizona winning this one 27-24.
Close. Closer than I have it. I have Arizona winning this 17-9. That is 3 field goals.
No, I'm giving the Saints a couple of touchdowns in this one. Las Vegas Raiders at the New England Patriots. This was a tough one because I think the Raiders had markedly improved. But they are in New England, and I think that Patriots are going to be improved. I've got the Patriots sneaking this one, and I mean sneaking, in a very low-scoring affair, despite what I think the Raiders might actually be capable of, and I like what I see from Drake May. This is my lowest-scoring score of the entire week. I've got the Patriots winning 17-10.
It's not my lowest score of the week. We'll come to that. I have the Patriots winning this one 20-17.
We then have the Pittsburgh Steelers at the New York Jets. What are the Jets going to look like? I don't know. What are the Steelers going to look like? Well, I know what JJ Watt's going to look like, but I don't trust Aaron Rodgers in this one. I do have the Steelers winning away from home, but it's going to be close, a lot closer than I think a lot of people would suggest. I've got the Steelers winning this one 22-19.
Oh, exciting. See, now we've come straight on to my lowest scoring game of the week. This is going to be hyped up as the Aaron Rodgers revenge game.
It is.
Both of these sides have better offenses, better defenses than offenses.
Yeah, that's true.
So I have this game finishing 12-9 to Pittsburgh with no touchdowns whatsoever.
Oh my word, that's amazing. I kind of want that to happen. We then have the New York Giants at the Washington Commanders. Now, do we know who the starting quarterback is for the Giants?
It's got to be Russell Wilson.
Probably going to be Russell Wilson. So the Commanders are going to win this one. The Commanders are going to win this one reasonably comfortably, but I think the Giants will close the gap. The score will look closer than the game. And I've got the Washington Redskins winning this one by a score of 30-26. But I think it'll actually be like 30-19, and then they'll score a late one to make it look better than it is.
I have the Commanders not travelling back in time to a different era and winning slightly more comfortably 24-12.
24-12, all right. We then move into the late slate of games. It's the Tennessee Titans at the Denver Broncos. Now, I always worry whenever Denver plays a rookie quarterback. I don't know why, especially a mobile quarterback. It just makes me worry. Not this time. Denver are going to blow the doors clean off Tennessee. They've got the best home record in the history of the NFL on opening day, and they're going to keep it intact. Denver Broncos killing the Tennessee Titans. Don't trust that Titans defense. 37-17. 16.
It's my joint largest margin of victory in week 1 for the Denver Broncos, 27-9.
Oh, there we go. We then have the San Francisco 49ers at the Seattle Seahawks. It's a return to form for the 49ers in this one, despite being away from home. I think Chris McCaffrey is back. I think Brock Purdy is back. Everyone's going to look much better. Still going to be a very close game, though. That Seahawks team will be tough. But I'm not sure about Darnold. 49ers, slightly lower scoring game, 19-12 over the Seattle Seahawks.
See, I came into this thinking, I don't trust Sam Darnold behind that Seahawks offensive line. And then I somehow talked myself into a Seahawks win in overtime, 31-24.
Wow. Well, my next game, the next game, I should say, is my only other overtime game. It's Detroit and Green Bay. Detroit's winning in Green Bay in overtime in a high-scoring affair. But not too high, because there's some excellent defensive players now on both sides. 31-28 to Detroit over at Green Bay in overtime.
Same margin of victory for me, not in overtime. Detroit Lions 27, Green Bay Packers 24.
Go. Houston Texans at the Los Angeles Rams. This was a difficult one to pick, but I'm taking the Rams at home. Although in a reasonably low-scoring affair, I've not got these teams going off on it, and I've got the Rams winning by a score of 23-19.
Yes, I agree. Obviously, I'm lower than you on the Texans because you think they're going to the Super Bowl. I have them winning 31-20.
I think they make it as a wild card. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying they're going to go undefeated to the season and be the number 1 seed. I just think they're going to make it. They're going to get some good luck. We then come to the Sunday night game. It's the Baltimore Ravens and the Buffalo Bills.
Game of the week.
I mean, I look at this and I think that the Ravens and Lamar and Derrick Henry are going to be a little bit peeved that Josh Allen won MVP last season when he shouldn't have. And I think it shows. I think Baltimore win away in Buffalo, but it's going to be close. 21-20, 1 point, closest margin of victory.
I have third disagreement with you this week in the predictions then, because I have the Bills winning 38-35.
And finally, Monday night, Minnesota at Chicago. And I didn't even know which way this was going to go. But I'm taking the Bears at home on Monday Night Football. Usually when I take the Bears at home, they lose. But I'm hoping this time they're going to win. I'm taking the Bears at home. Low-scoring affair. Second lowest scoring one that I've got. And it's 18-16 for Chicago.
My second lowest scoring game of the week as well, I think. But I've gone the other way because I don't trust the Bears yet. And the Vikings were decent last season and kept most of that together. I think they'll win it 13-10.
13-10. There we go. That wraps up our preview for week 1. What do you think of that, Patrick? I mean,
I'm so rusty, I almost forgot that we did score predictions. So I had to pull this together quite last minute.
I know. It's been a while. It's been such a long time since we did that. Now, when we are doing reviews, just for the viewers and the listeners at home, during the season, we are changing the format slightly, because previously we would go through every single game. It's a lot of work reviewing every single game. We're not going to be doing that this time. What we will be doing is picking a game of the week that we will be doing a proper review on, but we will also talk about, we'll go through all the scores, that's a given, but we'll also be sticking a game of the week and going through that. This is a fluid format. It may change as the season goes on, depending on how it actually works and the dynamics of it. What do you think, Patrick?
I think that makes sense. We can really focus in on the really fun games and miss out the really rubbish 12-9, 7 field goal affairs.
Oh, no, I do not want to be sitting through the Browns and Titans and spending 5 minutes talking about that when it happens. You're like, it's going to be turgid. Because this podcast should be fun. It should be fun for the listeners, but it needs to be fun for us too. Otherwise, we wouldn't be doing it. So, yes, now, we do have time. Oh, actually, Patrick, I know you've given me your Super Bowl teams, but I'm going to throw this one out to you as a dark horse. Either conference, a dark horse to make the Super Bowl. Anyone. Pick anyone you like. I've already got mine, going to the Super Bowl in Houston. So, but I will take another one. My dark horse, I will pick an NFC team. And do you know what? I reckon the 49ers come back. That's a dark horse for you.
49ers. All right. Well, I mean, the closest match I had when I was trying to go through my playoff predictions was Bills knock out the Broncos. If that goes the other way, you can see the Broncos beating the Chiefs in the championship game and going on to win the whole thing. Now, whether they count as a dark horse is another question because they're pretty well fancied. But
I would say, realistically, any team outside of the Bills, the Ravens, and the Chiefs would be a dark horse. But do you see any scenario where the AFC Championship game doesn't involve one of those three teams? Is there any scenario?
95% of people, probably more than that, will not have them winning the AFC West for a start. Plenty of people won't have them in the playoffs. So yeah, I'll nail my orange and blue colours to the mast for a dark horse.
I love it. Very good, Patrick. Now we do come to our final segment, and it is, of course, random stats. So, Patrick, why don't you give us your random stat?
Okay, so given that this was the MVP, Offensive Player of the Year prediction episode, I wanted to know what is the weighting of how these awards have been given out in the past. So I went back through all of the records since the most recent team came into the league, the Houston Texans, back in 2002.
Okay.
And I tallied up where the awards have gone. And to my surprise, it's pretty evenly split. 71 to the AFC, 68 to the NFC over that time.
Okay.
The worst performing division, with only 12, is the NFC East. And my random stat is that the division's tied for the most awards across MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year, and Coach of the Year is, with 20, the AFC South and the NFC South.
What?
Which, given that they come into this season as the divisions of disgrace, surprised me a lot. But you have to account for the fact that of those 20, 5 of them are Peyton Manning at the 4 of them are Peyton Manning at the Colts. So he's doing a lot of the heavy lifting for the AFC South, and Drew Brees similarly for the NFC South, I suspect. But yeah, it surprised me that those two divisions that look so lowly this season were leading the way in terms of Player/Coach of the Year awards.
That doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry.
No, it was not the ending to this review that I expected.
Oh, my word. There you go. Okay, my random stat concerns opening day. Because why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? And what we're looking at is the largest, well, I was going to say the largest margin of victory, also the largest loss, margin of defeat, because it's the same thing, an opening day in NFL history. So the top 3 in third place in September 8th, 2019, the Baltimore Ravens beat the Miami Dolphins 59-10. It's a rough start to the season. In second place, and you'll never believe this, the Cleveland Browns beat the Pittsburgh Steelers in 1989, 51-0. I'd like to point out the Pittsburgh Steelers made the playoffs that year, divisional playoffs. And the Browns put a 51-0 beat down on them, courtesy of Bernie Kosar and a very stacked defense. But the number one, the biggest margin of victory on opening day in the history of the NFL, on September 16th, 1973, the Atlanta Falcons beat the New Orleans Saints by a score of 62-7. 55-point victory, and that is the largest in opening day history. Apologies to Jake, but that is my random stat.
Oh, that is a chastener. I'm just relieved that the Jaguars avoided that humiliation.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the... in fact, hang on, I had a list here of the other ones because I was... it was the top... What was it, the top 10, I think, in total. What's the biggest? So, number 4, Redskins beating the Lions, 45-0. Ravens beating the Bills, 2018, 47-3. Number 6, Steelers beating the Browns to get some revenge. 10 years later, 43-0. Of course, that was the Browns' first game back after they reformed. Oh, the poor guys. Number 7, 49ers beat the Bears, 49-7. At number 8, Steelers beat the Colts 45-3 in 1985. At number 9, Lions beating Green Bay Packers 40-0. Look at that, 1970. And then at number 10, Dolphins beating the Jets in 1995, 52-14. So your team, my team, don't even come in the top 10 of worst defeats. But Jake's Saints are number 1.
You have to be thankful for small mercies.
Small mercies. Jake's team are number 1. 55-point drubbing on week 1 when everyone's undefeated. Everyone has the same record. Everyone's chances of making the Super Bowl are the same as everyone else's. Not a game has been kicked off. And then you got a 55-point hammering. And then you're like, well, on to next year then.
Wonder how many people are knocked out of their survivor pools that year, because I am going for my hat trick of being eliminated from that competition in week 1 this season. I'm hoping to avoid it. We'll find out.
I don't know what a survivor pool is.
You pick one winner each week. If you're right, you move on. If you're wrong, you're knocked out. Last man standing.
Just one out of the 16.
Yeah. And you can't use a team twice throughout the whole season. So once you've picked someone to win...
right.
So yeah, should you get late in the season, the choices become more difficult. Should you get knocked out in week 1, like I've done the last 2 years, doesn't matter.
So are you doing it this year?
Yes, I'll drop you an invite.
Do that. Do that, and I'll see if I can do some predictions. I was gonna do fantasy this year, and one thing led to another, and I tried to.
Now we're too close to the season starting.
Now we're too close to the season starting, and I was like, I cannot be bothered. I've got way too much going on to be doing fantasy this year. I'll maybe come back to it next year. Anyway, gentleman, I should say. Patrick Jackson. That's the end of our podcast. Thank you very much for joining us.
You're very welcome. It's a great way to spend my Tuesday lunch hour. Unusual recording in the day, but
it is
a lot of fun. Certainly a lot more fun than the meeting we're about to go into.
Oh dear, I won't even go there. As I say, I've already spoken to Christian. I'm hoping to speak to Andrew McCaskill. Hopefully, if we can get him on. I believe Tim was coming on as well for their predictions. We will be collating all of these predictions. I will be uploading a video to YouTube that has everyone's predictions listed for Super Bowl winners, MVPs, and all that kind of stuff. And we'll see who gets closest. So thank you to everyone listening and watching at home, of course. Once again, thanks to Patrick.
Very welcome.
And we will see you on next week's edition, which will be reviewing week 1, next week's edition. Although I might even do a live. I might do a live stream on Sunday. I might do a live stream on Sunday. Patrick, which game should I do a live stream of? Keep in mind, it'll likely be at 6 o'clock. So we've got Tampa Bay, Atlanta, Cincinnati, Cleveland, Miami, Indianapolis, Carolina, Jacksonville, Arizona, New Orleans, Raiders, Pats, Steelers, Jets, or Giants and Commanders.
Do you know what? Carolina, Jacksonville is actually one of the more attractive fixtures in that slot as well, isn't it?
It really kind of is, actually. It might be.
Yeah.
It might be. Do you want to open up with a Carolina, Jacksonville live stream?
Now, I'm throwing a spanner in the works here because I'm travelling off for holiday on Friday.
That's fine.
In a holiday cottage for a week. So I might be tuning into the stream.
That's fine.
I don't know whether I'll have the bandwidth to dial in or anything.
Absolutely fine. I will be happy to do a Carolina, Jacksonville live stream at 6 p.m. So feel free to join us for that one. 6 p.m. British time. Are we still in BST? What are we in? I can never remember.
Yeah, we're still in BST.
So yeah, we're in British summertime.
UTC.
No, that would be 5 p.m. UTC. That's behind us.
Would it? Oh,
yeah.
no.
Yeah. So
+1, okay.
UTC is 1 hour behind us currently. So it's UTC +1, 6 p.m., 5 p.m. UTC. We will be doing a live stream of the Carolina Panthers at the Jacksonville Jaguars. That should be quite the matchup. Looking forward to that. So we'll see. I don't know if I can stay on and do one for Tennessee at the Broncos. That might be too much. Maybe
head to head against Brandon Perner. Yeah.
Oh, do you know what? You've got no chance really there, do you? No chance. No chance. I'm not going to try and go up against Brandon Perna for live streaming a Broncos game. Although I love my Broncos, but I don't think I can do it. Not yet. We are at 76 subscribers on YouTube now, so we're only a few 100,000 behind them.
Flying in.
Yeah, we're reining them in. There you go. Thank you very much. Once again, thanks to everyone listening at home. We'll see you on next week's edition of the WINFL Show.
And we're clear.